that her aunt had, she started doing like this, making the pictures bigger and stuff. She said, wow, I didn't even know about that. So, I mean, these kids have the ability to learn. Let's expose them.
Amen.
While they're like sponges. I get a lot of people coming to me looking for jobs. They can't pass a drug test.
That's right. That's right.
You know, let's be real.
That's right.
You know, you coming to me with a criminal record and you're still using, and you talking about I want to work.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
real.
So, I mean, second chances are good, but people got to be ready for these second chances.
Right.
They got to show that employer, if I'm going to take a chance on you, and that's a chance because the workforce out there now, you have people very overqualified for the position.
Right.
Because of the economy. So somebody's coming and they're two-time losers. They're going to have to really prove themselves that they're ready to turn themselves around.
Amen.
So let's get real with our brothers and our sisters and our cousins and mayors.
Yes.
You know, that if you really want a job, then you got to do what it takes to get a job. Education is extremely important. One of the things that employers look at is your labor pool.
That's right.
How educated is your labor pool?
Right.
What's the lady over the box cup?
Jane.
Jane.
Yeah.
Jane took a survey of the labor force. At 25 and over 50% had not graduated from high school.
That's right.
They said, what in the world? And that's when you started seeing these GED programs popping up and going back and getting your high school diploma. You've got to be educated. A high school diploma now does not qualify you for anything except that you're ready to move to the next step, basically.
That's right. Training.
Because people are looking for you to either go have some college background or some technical education. And when I was coming along, it was called
Trade school.
Trade school. Now, then it went to technical school.
Yeah.
Now it's called technical college.
That's right.
And hey, John,
That's right.
you know, it's technical college. If you could get at a technical school, you could get at a community college or a university system.
That's right.
So let's be real with our children. Let's let them know. We went out and talked to Ware County a year ago. Some people say we pull the black students out. That's not true. We pull students in from certain lunch hours that were multi-ethnic.
Okay. Amen.
And we talked to them all. And we told them that these are your test scores. And black students, your test score is at the bottom of the world. What are we going to do about it? This past year, we had a battle and a sack.
That's right.
So we got to encourage these students, but we got to be real with them.
Amen.
We got to let them know what they're facing when they get out there in the real world. So let's talk to them. Let's talk to them in the real world. We've been there. We have the experience. And so let's pass that experience around. One of the things one employee told me was, John, I can find all the laborers I want, but I got to go outside of the 60-mile radius, which they were pulling their labor pool in from, to find managerial people. So let's make sure that our students, our children understand, let's prepare for some of these management positions.
Amen.
Starting at $85,000 to $100,000.
Amen.
You know, they can do it.
Yeah.
All we have to do is encourage them. And like Jan, I can talk all night.
Amen. Let's give all of them a hand as we start out. I'm going to pose this question to all of you all, and you'll kick it as we go. I've heard some things like computer skills and getting kids ready and getting small businesses ready. What would be ideal for the church community, for the kingdom community? What would be some of the things that you all recommend that we partner with you all and getting this workforce ready. One of the things that I key in on is the workforce availability. I know a lot of people in the community say the chamber, the labor department, the mayor, the development authority aren't getting any jobs in here. What you all are saying tonight is what the community needs to hear, is that employers are going to first call you all and ask, who do you have qualified? There's no use in a company coming here to Waycross to hire folks when there's not an availability pool of people who are already there who behind. So what are the programs, the partnerships, the things that we can do, amen, to assist in getting our broader community ready? I'm giving you, for instance, real fast, I didn't know that everybody needs to, would it be advantageous for everybody in Waycross to sign up with the Georgia Department of Labor? Okay? So, in other words, what are the things that we can do now? Let's go to the action part. What are the programs that we can be involved in that you may already have going in that we can assist your agency and making our community more ready, available for advancing businesses and bringing employers in?
One of the things you can do is the church can join the chamber. And I keep saying that, but that's one thing. We do have a few of the churches who are chamber members. That way, not only can I learn and be able to send out via things like an e-blast. Okay, how many, anybody here not have an email address? Not, we're going to work with it. Okay. But the idea of if this church is a member, I send it to whoever the contact person is, that whoever would do that. You can either get us all of your names, because then if you are a member of the church, you have access to this information, or he can then disseminate out. Remember I talked about my rock and out go the ripples? I send something to one person, things that are going on, then it goes on out so that everybody gets the word. And so there's something there that we can do. We also go the other way. You're having this event tonight. As a chamber member, then you would get that information to us. We would then send it out. So not only would it have been in the church bulletin and perhaps on the radio or in the newspaper, but it also goes out e-blasting to everybody so that you cross not only your neighborhood lines, your denominational lines, and just the context that you all have. It goes out across the board, beyond the city limits, beyond the county border, actually beyond the state line. And because we have members in Florida who would then get this information. Not that everybody's going to come, but they become aware, and all of a sudden our world gets a little bit smaller. Another thing that we have that was mentioning as far as the drugs that Mr. Kluger was talking about, there's something the Greater Satilla Area Employers Committee is having a seminar coming up on the 21st. That's a couple of Tuesdays. So that today is the 7th, not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday week. The seminar about what you need to do as far as drug testing and how people, unfortunately, he's absolutely right. There are people who are still trying to use, that are still trying to work, and there are really innovative ways to get around the drug test. We're not going to talk about it. No. But there are ways, and you have to be a savvy employer to know what you're doing. And if you are not testing, you probably need to be, because you might be surprised. And it's a bad surprise to get, but it's also a call to action to get that person's help. And what you can also do, again, as a chamber member...
You just said to get that person help. I just want to stick a pin in there as well. Amen.
Because then what you can do, there is a Drugs Don't Work program, and chamber members have access to, that can help you get... Everybody pays into workman's comp, and you can see a lot more about this than I know as far as like workman's compensation and all these different programs. It helps give a reduction in the cost of you as an employee pays into that. It also has things that it has you accountability so that you do testing, that you do follow-up, that you have ways that these folks can get the help they need so they can go back and be a productive worker. Because if you fire them, they're probably going to get a little more into it and maybe not even just be a user, but then become a dealer. And it can get worse and worse and worse. Or you can get that person help, they can get turned around, and then they're a productive member of society and not a burden, but a contributor. And so that's one thing we can do is just to, and one other thing as a former educator, you can, kids that go home, we have after school programs, but maybe not everybody takes advantage of it. If there's somebody here who can come in maybe into the fellowship hall and can help kids with homework, stand over them. Parents a lot of times can't. They're working 2 or 3 jobs. Or maybe it's only one parent. There's not a 2-person tag team to work with this kid. If you all that maybe can do that to help these kids and inspire them so they don't fall through the cracks, that the church family can also help augment what the birth family is doing. And so that they can also help these kids and help move them forward so they can be educated and educatable and then go on, as you said, once we graduate high school, right where you go in next, kids, and get on and keep making the decisions that they can make so that they can be profitable members of society.
Amen. Give her a hand. Thank you.
I think one of the good things, which is, of course, I want to take money for the community, but as I mentioned, of course, the library has a resource area. We can go in and use computers. Budget shortfalls, they have to close certain days at certain times. We close at 4:30. So really, there's nowhere else in Waycross that I'm aware of somebody could go use a computer if they didn't have one pretty much after 5 o'clock. If we had something like that in the community, some community resource areas, they can get some basic instruction, also be able to go and fill that application online after hours, or you don't need to. That would be a big thing for the community. Of course, I would do it to save money, but that would be a good thing to do.
Let me ask you a question. If we were to set up a computer, our library as a computer down in Macedonia, does the labor department have people who can possibly augment some of their hours and come and do training?
That's one of the things we do. We have people that work after hours. We